Hello and welcome to Dees20Stitches. I'm Dee, my pronouns are they, them. This is a channel about cross stitch, about craftivism, about me, Dee. Hello. It's been a month. Because it's been a month. It's definitely been a month. But I wanted to get a March video ready to you because there is a lot going on and I have to talk about it. I'm so excited. So excited. I have so many secrets and I cannot tell you any of them. But I might throw out some hints and I might kind of talk to you about what's going on, right? Okay. I don't have a lot of stitching, but we're going to get through stitching first. We have some education. I have a little haul. And we're going to talk about the future. I'm excited. Are you? Okay, let's do it. Let's start with new starts. Let's start with new starts. Okay, number one. This is a bag from Vintage Owl Lady. When I die, bury me in one of these. Now I'm sad because I wish, like many of you, I want my themed bag to my project. This is not the right theme, but this is the only bag I had lying around. So if you want to, if anyone wants to hook me up with a themed bag for, you know him, you love him, for Lady Man by Bendy Stitchy. He's here. He's here. Oh, look at him. Let me tell you, before I take this guy out, when I saw Michelle on her Flosstube show Lady Man, I was hit. I was hit by the feeling. I got big trans vibes from this. My dog's going absolutely apeshit upstairs. Okay. Anyway, there was big trans vibes in this pattern. And when I say big trans vibes, I mean, I look at Lady Man and I feel a short king is there, and I'm just so stoked about it. So I think this is kind of, in my heart, the first representation of a trans man in a sampler. I love him very much, and he is a ladies' man because dang. So cute, huh? So hot. What else is also, this is my start. There we are. Tiny. Look at that weird butterfly. Look at it. This is on a 28 count natural cashel from Button and Needlework Boutique. That's in Victoria, BC. I had a battle with this fabric, not this fabric, a fabric. I didn't know what to put this one on. This was kind of a last minute start. And at first it was going to be a couple 40 counts. I had some lamb's wool, but this 28 count, the stitches, the X's are just perfection. Look at how they lay so nice there. Dang. And also, wow. So, well, I'll never poo-poo 28 count again because dang, so nice. This is a Sal. This is the SALacious Squad Sal, with me and a bunch of other friends. I'll link them down below. And they're going to be talking about it on their Flosstubes too. And we're just, we're just a couple of, just a bunch of friends doing this real trans sampler. I love it. I love it. And Michelle, thank you very much. Oh, gotta show you my floss tags. Hold on. Look at this. Look at them. Look. These are only the threads for the butterfly. I haven't gotten, I bought all the other threads, but I haven't Your boy was busy this week. But this is what matters. Wow. The camera cannot. This, my goal is to finish the butterfly, at least. So we'll see. I've got, well, I'll talk about it. We've got a lot of other stuff to do. A whip. This bag is from Trixie's Tricycle, Jody. She made it for me. And inside is something that I wanted it to be done by Purim on March 16th, 17th? The night of. But it was not. This is, there we are, Purim Butterfly by Aya. I'll link down below. This is like a 32 count lime. That sounds about right. Oh, and I'm so close. But the reason why I didn't make it, and I'll tell you why. There was something else got in the way between me and my butterfly. So this will be finished by next Purim. I actually had a really nice Purim. We were able to share some treats with some friends, with some coworkers. So it was really nice. I got to watch all the videos about the little kids dressing up in their costumes and collecting money. Oh, so cute. This is the flosses. Those are the floss drops. Yeah. So am I ashamed that I didn't get it done? No. Because there's something else. There's a big elephant in the room. And it's in here. I can't show you though. I cannot. I think you might know where this is. This is the model stitch. In this bag is the model stitch for one of the pieces for Kari and my spring fling. So if you were in the know, if you were signed up for Kari and my newsletter, you got an email saying that Kari and I are doing a fully kitted box with 2 projects. Both of them are kind of like they're sibling projects. One is a medium and one is a small. And also we're going to be doing a little retreat on May Day. And we gave the Stitch Club, our newsletter people, we gave them first shot saying, you know, we don't have many left. We're just small, you know, and to be honest, I'm going to give you a peek behind the curtain. I was a little worried. Our last design did not actually sell very well. We thought, you know, we loved it, but it didn't sell very well. So we were just like, maybe people are over us. So we kept the numbers on this box low, quite low. So we gave the newsletter people first crack at it. The crack was at 9 o'clock, around 9 o'clock in the morning, our time, last Saturday. If you were part of it, you knew it was chaos. Chaos. First of all, thank you. Thank you for everyone who was interested. We sold out in about 25 minutes. Kari was on a bus. Kari was on a bus to her old apartment. She's moving. She had to clean out her old apartment. She's ready to clean. She's on a bus. She's getting frantic texts from me. I called her a couple of times. So let me, again, peek behind the curtain. This is how small businesses work. These are the growing pains of small business. Take a seat. I'm going to be honest with you. So number 1, did not think we would sell out this fast. Number 2, there's some oopsies. The first of which was the shipping. I think on our website, the shipping locator was like not locked on quite right. So it didn't give people the option for the right amount of shipping, to pay the right amount of shipping. So people ended up paying like half of what they should have. So that was the first little hiccup. I'm like, oh, I had 2 people message me and say, hey, this shipping is like oddly cheap. I don't have the option to pay more. Is that right? And before I got back to them, the boxes had sold out. So here these people are asking me questions, and it's in their cart, and they stopped to ask me a question, and then it sold out. But don't worry, don't worry. So then, oh gosh, who was it? Someone else messaged. So we sold out. And I'm like, oh no, okay, great. Like I had a victory, but then at the same time, I like, oh, a little bit of a mess. And then I forgot who messaged me. So many people were messaging me. Someone said, wow, your price was like really cheap. Like for a box, it was extraordinarily cheap. And I thought, well, you know, what we did was we looked at what all the items cost wholesale and then what they would cost retail. And we just added up what it would have cost retail, and that's what we charged. And then I looked, it was really cheap. So what ended up happening is it was a Canadian American thing. So most of the people who buy our stuff are American. Kari and I are Canadian. And so when Kari and I discuss prices, we look at the Canadian price first, and then we also do the transfer of like, okay, well, is the American price still, because most people buy from the States, is the American price still good? So we just do the little transfer. So the original price for the box, the retail price, and like this was we categorized all the stuff. This is the retail price, was $90 Canadian, $70 US. And that gave us our money back. It paid us for our time, that sort of thing. But what was inputted on the website was not $90 Canadian, $70 US, but $70 Canadian, and that would be $50 US. And that's not, I mean, we would still, you know what? Here's the thing. Our brains were mush. Kari and our brains have been mushed, and a little thing like that, it happens. Growing pains, right? Small business growing pains. This is our first box launch. Poor Kari is literally moving while we're doing this. So that's the chaos. But let me tell you the nice thing. We emailed everyone and we said, hey, what you paid isn't actually the price. This is the actual price, and if you want to pay the extra, I think it was like $30, we'll invoice you. If not, no big deal, no problem. We'll pay you, but like we'll issue a refund today. Do not worry if it's not in your. Don't feel pressure if it's not in your because $30 extra is a lot, right? So everyone was so lovely. No one was mean. So thank you very much. And it was kind of serendipitous because 2 people said, that's not within my budget anymore. And that's okay. Like, I totally understand that. I can't afford cross-stitch boxes. So 2 people were able to say, we were able to give a refund, but that meant the 2 people who were messaging me who stopped and didn't buy and stopped to ask me a question, the 2 people who did that, we were actually able to get them a box. So it was just kind of, it feels good. I have so much stuff. I have down here, it's all down here. It's down here. Million of Stitches sent me all of her stuff that we ordered from her. I have the model is here. It's almost done. She's almost done. Kari is stitching the other one. We're not gonna show you anything. I think if you want to know, if you want a hint, think florals and medieval torture devices. Hells yeah. If you didn't get a box, we are wheeling and dealing. Number one, Bryn and Needle are going to, after the retreat, they are going to sell the plan is to sell the our custom flosses and the colors, the custom flosses and the fabric. And eventually, maybe end of summer, after our box people have had a really good time with it, we'll eventually offer, our Bryn and Needle will offer the paper patterns maybe at the end of the summer, maybe, on their website. And PDFs won't be until maybe next year for us, because we got a lot going on, right? We're so excited. Thank you everyone who tried. Thank you everyone who bought. Thank you everyone who supported. We really appreciate it. We felt the love. Wow. Next year, will there be more boxes? We'll see. We'd like to do Spring Fling every year, I think. But we will see. We will see. So I can't show you what's in this. This is my main whip. I mean, I could. That's all I'm going to show you. You see my needle minder. You can see a little bit of the pattern, I think. Don't zoom in and copy it. Don't do it. That's it. That's all I'm going to show you. Okay, that was my story. And you know, I last month was hard. The end of last month was hard. The new anti-trans legislation in Texas, I was able to rally. I was able to get my butt in gear and really put my energy in, and then another one hit in Idaho, and it just deflated me. I couldn't engage. I had a lot of fatigue, but it took me about a month to kind of get back to like my energy to where it usually is. So I'm back. I have the energy. I'm excited about things. I am excited about things. So, yeah, that's, so I can't show you anything for Spring Fling until May 1st because that is a retreat. Boxes are going to be mailed out April 16th. Yeah, so you won't be able, Flosstube will not be able to see it until after May. So I'll be able to tell you how the retreat went, and I'll be able to show you all of the fun things, and then you'll get to drool over it, and you'll have to wait. Oh, speaking of April, I didn't think this was going to be a long video, but I have more exciting news. I am going on a vacation. I'm going on a vacation. My partner and I booked. We are driving from Vancouver, BC, down I-5, through Washington, through Oregon, and then we're going to whack over to 101, do the California coast, and then get into San Francisco, go to San Jose, go to the Winchester Mystery House, do some San Francisco stuff, do some Napa Valley stuff, and then go home. And we're going to be there for 2 weeks, and I'm a Sagittarius, so we like to travel. And so, you know, it's been hard. It's been difficult for me. I guess, so my question for y'all is, in between Vancouver, BC and I guess San Jose, Do you know of any LNS I should stop it? Because, like, the States is plentiful. Don't worry. I will be at Acorns and Threads. I have a date with Natty, Portland, Acorns and Threads, Saturday morning. We're going to go there. We're going to shop. We're going to go to the McMinimans, eat some tater tots. Oh, no. Sorry, my phone. Not professional. Not professional. We're gonna eat some tater tots. Then we're gonna go. We're gonna have a beer. Then we're gonna go back shopping. There's gonna be 2 rounds. 2 rounds of shopping. But I know there's other LNS stores in between. So if you have an LNS store and it's not Acorns and Threads and it's somewhere in between Vancouver, BC and San Jose, San Francisco area, let me know. I've got a bunch of American money burning a hole in my pocket, and I live in an LNS desert. Okay, speaking of LNS, let me talk to you about haul. I got a couple things. Some are for business, some are for pleasure. Business. My favorite fabric joint of all, Fire Poppies. They are the fabric masters. I just ordered like 4 things of fabric for our summer design. So that's coming soon. I got there we are. Fiber on Wind cornflower, 40 count. This is a lovely blue. Like a jort. I think I had blue jeans like this as a kid. And then I also got Picture This Plus. J. It's a deeper blue. These were for Kari and I designed a Christmas piece. It's already Christmas, y'all. This was the fabric for that I have to, eventually stitch it. It'll get there. For pleasure, look at these. Mary Morgan's. I think Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, did this one, or started at least. And the colors are so pretty, I had to have it. Fox and Rabbit. Fox and Rabbit. I've been sleeping on these 2. Boy, I love samplers with weird big flower motifs, right? I have another one. What's the other one? The other one. Do you know the other one? I've started already. Mary Morgan's. Fun story about this one. So this was Needlework Expo. Yes. This was last summer this was released. And I ordered it from the biggest Canadian LNS, Traditional Stitches. I love them very much. They're big. They've been going for a long time. I can't quit them. But the one thing you do have to remember with Traditional Stitches is it's going to get here when it's going to get here. There's no time limit on, like, it could. So I did order this in the summer and it did come last month. It doesn't matter. I wasn't going to stitch it right away. It's in my stash. I was going to stitch this for my New Year start, but no. I order from Traditional Stitches. I order all my paper patterns, most of my paper patterns, because I want to keep them going. But I know when I order them, they'll get here when they get here, and that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Thank you. I cannot wait. Ooh, it's going to be a while till I start this one. I have so many other things, but thank you. And then, this is a tufted rug, and you may recognize it's Timbit. This is from May from Slice of Bread on Instagram. I'll link them below. And they did custom doggies. So I love supporting fellow trans designers and trans artists. So I bought this from May. It was great. May was lovely. They gave me like a timeline, and it was just, the communication was great. And it has so much Timbit hair on it already. How? This is for me. It's so cute. Speaking of Tim, I should actually talk about the kind of little contest we had. So on Instagram and on last Flosstube, I asked you, the contest was for the Snail Mail Club, was, oh, we got a little thing, was, what breed is Timbit? We got the DNA. We got the DNA test. Turns out he's 100% a Timbit. So I asked on Instagram and I asked on the last Flosstube, what breed? He has 4 breeds. What breed do you think he is? A lot more guesses on Instagram than the Flosstube. Some people said he's a good boy. He's a 100% good boy. That is true. Did not show up on his DNA test though. So Timbit is, and you'll never, oh my god, the majority of Timbit, the 15-pound little Texas Rescue, is collie, the lassie dog. Number 2, English setter. Number 3, blue heeler, or like Australian cattle dog. That one I see. That one I see big time. And number 4, Boston Terrier. So Timbit is 75% big dog and 25% little dog, but he is a very little dog. That little dog gene is working overtime. So the closest person who guessed the most, I think she guessed 3 out of 4, is Elle on Instagram. Elle, you will be getting something. What will you get? Something from my snail mail bag. It'll be cute. It'll be dog themed if I can find it. I'll send that to you out this month before I leave for California. So that's my snail mail. Thank you very much. Remember, if you want to be part of my snail mail club, number 1, you have to fill out the snail mail Google form down below. Number 2, you have to leave a comment. So if you'd like to win for next month, leave a comment down below. It could be about anything. It's about how cute Timbit is. It's about how cute I am. By the way, there was a lot of comments last time about how good my hair was, and I appreciated that. My hair, how's my hair today? It's a little greasy. It's Friday. My hair's not at its best on Fridays, so just got out of work, So L1 Snail Mail this month. If you'd like to win next month, again, join Snail Mail, leave a comment, make sure you're subscribed, then we're good. Okay, what else we got? We're 28 minutes in. Yes. Okay, it's gonna be a short one. Let's do education. Yeah. So every Flosstube I do a little bit, because I'm a trans rights educator and advocate and trans. I tend to do some education because it's all about craftivism, right? You craft and then do some activism. And so I put up a poll. Hold on. I should check this. I put up a poll on the old Instagrams on whether or not y'all wanted me to talk about cancel culture or what was the other thing? Let me check. One thread activism. And it looks like, right now we are 57% one thread activism. So let's do that. I'll cancel culture, I'll get to you. Or people upset about cancel culture, I'll get to you. Oh, we'll get to you. Okay. So single thread activism is an idea where you have to remember that you don't have to do everything, but you do need to make sure you are doing your piece. So I think I put up a post a while ago by Ursula Wolfraka, and her Twitter handle is Lady of Sardines. And they run Rethink Schools. They work for Rethink Schools, which is a program that counteracts the anti-race theory stuff that's been going on. They give resources to schools for teachers to teach, you know, I hate using critical race theory because that's been, but to teach the kids about what's actually going on, to teach about radicalization, to teach about uplifting, to teach about all of these things that are important, diversity and inclusion. So they give great stuff. But Ursula had a tweet that basically said, remember, if you feel overwhelmed and you're kind of grasping at threads, remember that your thread that you are grasping, even if you grasp one, connects to everything else. Everything else is connected. And what she means by this is the ills of what is going on in our world can be boiled down to big basic ideas that affect everything, right? Capitalism, imperialism, colonialism, white supremacy, fascism. These big things. These big things are the ills, right? They are the hurt. And because those big things are all connected, if you are taking on one piece of activism, you are helping actively disassemble that project, that big quilt, I guess, or thread, I guess, that big cross stitch project, that big icky cross stitch project. You're frogging. Okay, you got the world's biggest count, like 56 linen, right? That's the world. And guess what? Some really crappy people has stitched some stuff into that fabric, right? You got some fascist crap, you got some imperialistic crap, you got just like white supremacy is coming with like the étoile and is just going, it's everywhere. The stitches are bad. The stitches are bad and they're covering up the beauty of the world. And so you, an activist, you got your little stitch ripper and you are just gonna cut it up and you're gonna pull, baby, right? So one person cannot frog all of the ills of the world, but together we can pull all the threads. That's the idea of one thread activism. And a lot of people liked that post and that made them feel better, so I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about it. I want to talk about one activist. Her name is Julia Tai, and I'll link her down below. She made a thread about like how to make sure, if you are going to be focused on one thing, how can you make sure you're doing a good job with that thing? Because usually we either get so overwhelmed doing all the things and then we don't do them well. We don't do it well. I guess I don't speak on burnout, and I don't necessarily like when people say, oh, I feel so burned out about activism, because I always think like, how do you think the victims feel? How do you think the marginalized people feel? Right? So I don't like to say, you know, burnout is not an option, right? So you don't want to grasp at all the little threads. So you're focused on one thing. How can you make sure, if you are a one thread activist, if you are concentrating on one piece of the puzzle, how can you make sure you're doing a good job? Okay, so I wrote a list. And this is, again, Julia Chai. she had a great thread on this. I wrote it down. Okay, number 1, your interest, whatever your activism is in, it has to be long term. You are in it for the long haul. That means you are reading about it today. You're reading about it when it's bad. You're reading about it when it's not in the news. You're reading about it. You're connecting. And that can look like any way. Like, you don't have to set an alarm, a daily alarm, but it should be in the forefront of your mind, right? Number 2, you educate yourself before supporting. So you see a post on Instagram and you're like, oh no, this thing that I care about it is happening. Instead of just reposting it, stop, go back, read what's happening, gather your sources, go on Instagram, go on Twitter. Twitter is a great way to gather sources and gather your sources, center yourself, ground yourself, but before you start being angry on the internet, right? Number 2, your work should continue even when the issue has died down in the public's eye. So don't stop. Don't stop fighting. Don't stop educating yourself. Keep looking, right? And remind yourself to keep looking. And then number 2, you are focused, number 2, what? Number 4, speaking of focus, you should be focused even if the activists around you are not. So if there's a new hot topic and everyone else is like, okay, well, we're doing this thing again. We're doing it. You are going to remain focused. It's okay to dabble other places. It's okay to read other places. But again, you got to do your job well, right? So how do you focus? I want to tell you a little thing. This is what happened to me. So all the Texas and Idaho trans stuff kind of blew up around the same time that Russia invaded Ukraine. And I saw people on Instagram, people who told me and people who told other people that they're not political. I saw the people who said they were not political posting about Ukraine. And boy, that made me, ooh! Made me upset. But it made me, again, I was centering myself as a trans person, saying, yo, why are you upset about this and not the other stuff? But the trans stuff. Or even like, why are you upset about this bombing and not all the other bombing that's going on? I had that feeling. And it's okay to have that feeling. Like, I'm marginalized by a lot of what's going on, and people in my community are marginalized, so I felt angry. And then I remembered, here's the thing. The people who are posting about Ukraine, hopefully, they're taking time to read. And maybe when they're reading and looking into it, even if it's just on the news or social media, maybe they're happening across other things that's happening in Ukraine. So maybe they're happening across the fact that Black students were having trouble getting out of the Ukraine because of racism. Maybe they're reading that trans people of Ukraine couldn't leave because the gender that they are do not match the gender on their IDs. So they were worried about getting stopped at the border. Or trans women were worried about getting conscripted. So maybe, again, everything is connected. So maybe when these non-political people chose Ukraine to get politicized, to get radicalized, maybe and hopefully they start educating and they start seeing, oh, all these threads connect. And just radicalization, reading and being an activist, it's all good. Like, it's all good. And so I had to remind myself, I gotta stay in my lane. And one of the things that I like to teach in a lot of my one-on-ones and a lot of my courses and stuff is like, you can't judge other activists' activism. Whether it's good or bad, it's not your business. unless they ask about it, right? So like, we don't want to fall into the, well, why are you caring about this when you should be caring about this? Because I get a lot of that from the other unradicalized side of things, you know. So when I say remain focused, stay in your lane, stay on your thread, you know, don't worry about how other people pull their threads, because they're on their own journey. And hopefully when they're pulling the thread, like if this is the first time, they're like, oh wow, Ukraine thread, I got it. And then maybe they're like, wow, okay, I said to donate to the Ukraine Red Cross, but maybe that's not the best way to get the money to people. And oh my gosh, there's so much racism at the border. And oh my gosh, these poor trans people who are stuck here. Oh my gosh. Maybe, hopefully, they'll eventually connect, right? Everyone's on their own journey. So you're on your own journey. You're focused. You got your thread. A couple questions to ask you about your focus. Number one, are you doing this to make yourself feel good? It's a good, big question. Are you doing this to make yourself look good? That's also what we call a performative ally question, right? Number two, when I make a post on social media, does it have all the important info on how to help? Does it have a call to action? Or is it just a post? A post, maybe not so helpful. A call to action, a link, donation, signing petitions, mutual aid. That's what you need. Number three, does it uplift the voices of the victims? Are you centering victims? Are you posting what they are saying, right? Number four, does it continue the conversation? Are you adding anything new? Number five, what is your goal? What's your goal with this? Again, is it, what progress do you want to be made, right? Does it have a call? What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does it have a call for action? And number 7, have I participated to the call of action? So if you're asking to donate, have you donated? If you shared mutual fund organizations, have you looked into them? If you ask people to read certain things, have you done it? Like, these things are important. And I talked about that during my last video, right? Okay, that's thread activism. That was so much. But a lot of people were asking about it. A lot of people connected about it. So, yeah. I hope a lot of people were asking me about retreats and that. Just to let you know, if you ever want to invite me to a retreat, and I can just do a whole PowerPoint on whatever you want, you can pay me for that. That'd be great. I'm gonna do a little education piece at Spring Fling, of course. There's rumblings of something happening in the summer for Pride that I want to do retreat, and I want to do an education piece, of course. Then I have plans for a Stitch for Pride challenge, a 30-day challenge. So yeah. Anyway, if you learned something today, this is my job. But I want to help you all out. I have a Ko-fi link down below. So if you learned something, buy me a coffee, and I'll stuff it in my little piggy bank, and I'll bring it to Acorns and Threads, or I'll put my money where my mouth is and find some mutual aid to donate to. That's usually what happens. Okay, that's thread activism. We talked about Snail Mail Club. Again, Snail Mail Club next month. I'm not sure when I'll be able to film, but next time I film, I'll get a comment from down below. The only other thing that I want to talk about is the Cursed Anchor Sal. Cursed Anchor Sal is released onto this world. It's out there, baby. So if you signed up for the Cursed Anchor sale last Flosstube, it's gonna eventually get there. Hopefully. We'll see how much thread people use. But I think I have something like 28 people. That's nice. That's so nice. I hope we get everyone. But we got people, United States, Canada, Germany, and England. So hopefully it gets to everyone. Is that it? 45 minutes. Wow. And half of that is me talking about activism. Next month, we'll see when the next one is. Maybe at the very end when I come back from vacation. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. I think that's it. I'm done. I love you very much. Remember, do the work, and I'm your Stitch Dad. And no matter what, I'm really proud of you. I love you. Bye.